Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2. Where last episode, guys, we implemented our first train through our beautiful train line through the Woodville industry. This train is now about to go out of the region. It's currently carrying 39 people, but I'm sure it's about to pick up a whole lot more to bring them in. It stops at Derby, Piper Mills, our first stop in our brand new area that we got all up and running in the last episode, and then finally ends and terminates at the final stop, which will be the downtown area of this big, beautiful peninsula. Now, in the last episode, we did a lot of work. We got a lot of work done to get set up to this point, and we've got a lot of brand new people moving in. We had some issues with trying not to go bankrupt, but I don't think it really worked out too well because now I've gone to spending lots more money as we built more and more stuff. But that's okay. I'm not stressing. Now, I did have issues with the rail yard, thinking that the budget was the issue for why I was not getting any trains. It turned out it was just simply a issue with the train tracks going across, and that then fixed it. So I'm going to reduce the budget again, and hopefully I can save a few more pennies, which looks like I already am. And hopefully we can then start turning a profit. So what are we doing today then? Well, we need to extend this area a bit more, make some progress on the downtown area. But also, more importantly, with the fact that we've also added so many more new residents in, my unemployment is starting to get a little bit higher. So I kind of want to first focus on providing a few jobs. Oh, I just realized I can't put the budget all the way down, because the buses don't like it. I gotta put it to 75%-ish. There we go, buses. Are you now my friend? Will you now stop complaining? Oh no, they're still complaining. Okay, now they're not complaining no more. All good, boys. We're all good. So, first we're going to look at towards doing is trying to create some more exports. Now, when it comes to my production, you can see what we're currently getting up and running with right now. We have a lot of surplus for the wood, even the material goods as well. I feel like we have a lot of surplus for all the stuff that we do produce, which is amazing. But I want to create more. More surplus means more exports, which means more money in our bank. And when it comes to the industry, when it comes to wood alone, we're making 165,000 big ones just by exporting wood. So we're going to place down some more of these forestry areas right now in the little gaps and nooks and crannies that we know we're not really going to utilize that much. So 2 here. Definitely 1 here, and 1 over here should be a good little shout. Is there any I can squeeze in? I reckon along this side here, we could definitely squeeze 1 or 2 in, just to utilize the dead space. And it's a way in which I can get more money coming into my pockets. So let's start over. Let's start here. Now here's an interesting one because in reality, it comes directly off the highway. So I reckon I'm going to... Did I use dirt roads on these ones? I did. I do like a good dirt road, don't I? I really do like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come off it quite early. I'm going to come off there. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bend here. I'm going to bring this down. And then I'm going to do another little bend again. And I'm going to bring it underneath. Oh, actually, I can't bring it underneath, can I? Okay, we'll do a little bit of anarchy. Don't tell nobody, but we're going to do a little bit of anarchy right now. We're going to bring this down, turn the anarchy back off. Apparently, we've got overlapping right now. Okay, apparently we still need anarchy, guys. Still need anarchy. There we go. And then we're going to do another little bend again. And then we're going to bring that up to there. So it's just a way in which I can have the ability to access both sides with this singular dirt road. Very gritty this is, isn't it? It does seem quite gritty. Maybe not push it back that far. Maybe if I built this, and again, the anarchy comes into play just there. Get rid of you. Because I don't need to access all of this area with road. I just need to be able to kind of get my forestry areas down. So let's start with the one side then, and we'll place our first one just over here. So if I built you just there, and then anarchy, we have to go anarchy on all of this now, because we ultimately want to make sure that we are maximizing. Get rid of the snap as well. Maximizing as much space as we can. Plus, it allows us to go over the actual radius, the default radius that we have available. Now, we'll go to about there. I won't go all the way to the edge of it, and we'll come down to here. So this will incorporate the trees that we already have around here within it. So if I go back to snapping, and we'll come just off it there, and we'll go to there and snap it in. How does that look? Not too bad. Not too shabby. We've got to provide these services, obviously. So let's now bring over on the road the electricity connection. So if I get rid of the anarchy there, if I go from there and bring it all the way over, that should run the power. Right, that should run the power, which it does. But it doesn't run the water and sewage. So the water and sewage, we're going to have to run ourselves. So if I just kind of select, and I'll anarchy this as well, just to make life a tad bit easier for us. Oh, that's not water and sewage. That's just water. Right, upgrade this to include water and sewage. There we go, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So that should now be all up and running. And what I'll actually do is put some trees around the outskirts as well to kind of really fill it into a forestry area. Right, why is it still complaining about sewage? Is the sewage... The sewage is connected. Is it not connected? Huh? I'm a little bit confused right now. What I'll do is I'll run this directly to there. Actually, we'll just do a sewage pipe. Just for a hot... That's not even connected, is it? What is going on, boys? What is going on? Right, is that enough to connect? Right, why is the sewage not connected? I'm really confused right now why this sewage is not connecting. I have enough sewage availability. Is it the building? Right, let me delete the building. I'm going to delete the building and actually, no. Before I do that, let me build the one on this side. Because if it is the building, then I can fix it. If not, then we're going to have to go sit in the corner and cry. Do I put this down at the side? No, I'm going to put that at the side. I'm going to put it just here. So bringing this down, then we'll bring it about there. Run it all the way up. There we go. Run it all the way down now. And then just... I'm going to get rid of the snap again. Because it allows me just to kind of fine-tune it a little bit better. There we go. Running all the way down. And let's say I put the snap back on. Now, is that okay for this one? Now, if they both complain about the sewage, then obviously we've got a sewage issue. But I'm unsure to why. Is that not connecting correctly? It's got to be something to do with this. Maybe it's because that was upgraded. What if I just now delete it all? And then redo it all. So let me just get rid of all of this that we would have originally once had. And then we do the 2 pipes now. And then bring this all the way up and over. So bring it to there and then I'll connect it in. There we go. It must have been something broken with the pipes when I chose to upgrade it because it just clearly didn't want to work, did it? It really did not. Right, so that provides, as of right now, 74 jobs instantly get filled. That one provides 62, which is great to see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw down a couple of trees right now. My big, beautiful oak trees. I want them to be adult size. Oh, get rid of you. I've done it with anarchy on like an idiot. And if I just quickly go around the edge of the perimeter, you're not going to squeeze much in. But every little helps. Every little helps just on the perimeter side of it. Let me just delete these rogue trees that don't need to be here. And then, nice. All I could do to kind of make it a little bit nicer is then maybe add in, if I use the anarchy tool again, just add in and fill and bridge the gaps between them all. And come down here with a few trees, go back up with a few trees. And then just create a little bit of a tree line going around the edge. Fits in a little bit nice. I wouldn't say it's perfect, and I reckon we would kind of need to do like a little bit of bulkiness coming out, but we do have another power issue. So is the power issue that we are... Oh, okay. We need another wind turbine, don't we? So if I implement this wind turbine here, and that's probably the last wind turbine we're going to have in this vicinity. So do this underground, connect you up, and of course add all the extras to it. And then that there, nice little wind farm should give me more than what I need for now, but it won't last long. It won't last long. So what I'm going to do next then is brush this a little bit more. So if I do it... Oh, hang on, we're going outside the region here. I didn't know you can place trees outside the region. Right, I'm going to kind of just brush a couple of trees down. Like that. And I'll do the same over here as well. To kind of create like a little bit of a vibe on the go. Very much like what we're going to have over there. So that works out well. We've provided a few extra jobs, which is pretty good. I just want to do a couple just here, which these ones should be fairly easy now. These should be fairly easy. Not as stressful as the ones over there. So I'm going to come off here, and then I'm going to choose to do a slight bend there. And I'm going to bring this road going straight to about there. That's all I'm going to do with that road. And then for this one, we'll come directly off the junction. There we go. And then I'll do a nice little bend as well. And I'll do another little bend again. And I'll do a little bend there to run that straight just there. So that's where I'm going to run these next two forestry areas next. So put this one right at the end. And no, keep the anarchy on. The anarchy is fine at the minute. Run you all the way down. We're going to go to there, push you underneath, which is where we want it. Alright, bam. Bam, bam. Get around this peninsula here. And I reckon we bring it to about there. And finalize that one all off. Now this one we'll put smack bang on the end there. So this has got a nice big road that leads up to it. So that should be pretty sweet for us. Right, suck it to the whole of the edge of the dirt road. And then bring it out. Oh, do I make it go underneath to utilize that? No, I'm gonna keep that free. Not every area needs to be a forestry, okay? That's what I'm gonna say these days. Not every area needs to be a forestry. Right, boom, 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 boom. Now, this one's going to have a nice little beach implemented around it as well. Actually, how big is this area? Is this going to be the biggest forestry we've created? Now, a lot of people say, what's the difference between kind of building 2 versus 1? I don't feel like there's much difference. Some people argue that having 2 in the same area as 1 means you have more jobs. I don't think that is truly the case. And then some people say having 2 in the area of 1 means you export twice as much. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it. Maybe you could argue that because there is 2 buildings. Maybe you export twice as quick is the difference. I'm not too sure. But I don't mind doing 1. It's all good by me, boys. It's all good by me. That fits perfect. So that might be the biggest one. And that has 126 jobs at the moment that are going to be available. So that provides a lot of jobs. But more importantly, it will and should hopefully provide a lot more exports. So I think having little gaps like this here, gap there, not doing all of this bit there and whatnot, means that we do get contrasting colors in the ground. So that looks pretty good to me. So like I said, that now should provide a lot more exports. And with a lot more exports, that should also provide... Look at that. Oh, a split second then, we were making profit. As we get a huge surplus on wood, which means that the taxation on that type of good, which is here, should increase, which means we make more money. There was a split second there, guys. We all seen it, that I made a little bit of profit. Right, that's pretty good then. That's pretty sweet. There is a bit of traffic issues here now, so I wonder if we can kind of stick around about here, which might be a good idea. And maybe a medium star one, or should I go one bigger? If I go that size, is that one way too big? That one, let me turn anarchy off, because it'll tell us if I can build it or not at the same time. That might be way too big. That might be the one for us. So if I implemented you in, and if I gave this side here its own dedicated kind of lane, to kind of make that right turn, right? So if I do it like that, oh, okay, we'll have to anarchy it in. So it's got its own dedicated, oh, that's not what I actually wanted. I didn't really want a dedicate, I wanted like a dedicated right turn. Maybe if I had 2 lanes to merge in. No, that's not doing what I wanted it to do. I'm sure there's a mod I can get which allows me to... Oh, what if I do it... Ah! Kind of. I don't know. I don't truly know on that one. Okay, what have I done here? I've broken this, haven't I? I know there's a mod that you can utilize to kind of change in, like, the lanes. Maybe I should think about getting it. If anyone can let me know what the mod's actually called, that will be greatly appreciated. Right, does that now work? Are you guys not complaining? All good. All good. So just a little bit of extra capacity allows additional vehicles to turn onto the highway and additional vehicles to turn off. It seems to have got rid of that backlog, but I don't particularly think that backlog was going to be there much longer anyway. Right, let's leave that as it is then. We're going to work on this area down here. So this area in particular then, we need to finalize the road layout and start building some high density buildings down here. But before we do, should we see how the train line's actually doing? So the train line itself, I mean, how busy would you say it is? The line usage is 5%. No, the train's coming down here right now. There's not going to be many people on board. It's just picked up from here. There is 75 passengers waiting to go in the opposite direction. What about over here right now? Here on this station, there is 159 passengers waiting. And this station here, 101. Now, we do need to create greater connectivity for this station and the passengers to be able to walk over here. We also need to create some localized parking for it. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute after we've worked with this, but that's something that we do really need to work towards sorting out. Right, let's get rid of the anarchy then. And let's continue with our grid format for the most part. So I'm going to do a 2-2... Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to come directly off this as being our connection. Going in. Going to bring this down for a connection here. All right, I'm going to bend that into there. So if I brought that up to there and then brought you in this way. Well, let me bring that out a bit further. There we go. And then all roads will lead down to here. So let me just overextend them. So I know they run straight. And then we'll come back and then delete the overhang bit. Right, there we go. Oh, I'm underground. Delete you. Oh, it deletes the trees as well. I didn't realize that. Didn't know we were deleting trees, boys. Anarchy. There we go. Right, so I'm still undecided what I'm going to do with the ends of these. I'm still undecided yet. I really am. Right, let's extend off these then. So this obviously continues. So we'll do a 1, 12... Oh, no. Let's not play these games. Let's not play these games, boys. Right. That's straight in. That's straight in. Right, and now we just got to overextend to kind of get away from the grid. So that all works there, which is great. We're going to have this bend into there to kind of switch over. So that goes to about there. So if I bring it there. Right, I think that's about right. Oh, I'm anarchying again. Zodiac, stop anarchying right now. Oh, man. I keep forgetting anarchy. Does anybody else have the same issue as me? Or is it just me? I hope it's not just me. I hope everyone else has the same issues with anarchy. Right, we kind of want to come away from the grid now at this point. So everything now is going to be a little bit more flowy is the best way to pull it. So we're going to utilize more of the continuous bend roads. So we'll come out to about there. And then I'll bend there. And okay, do you know what? I say that, but I don't think I'm ready for this section. All right, we'll end that there on that one. Now we'll go continuous bendy-wendy, okay? So we're going to bring this coming down. And then go straight, leading into it. Nice. Nice. And then we'll try and figure out what. So we'll create a connection going through here and there, right? And then we'll use our bendy-wendy again. There we go. There we go. Definitely got to go across by one more, don't we? We definitely have to here. Right, there we go. Right, so let's delete the overhang there. Because we can eventually do something around the borderline anyway, which will create a kind of walkable park area, leisure, down towards the beach. But I don't want to destroy the tree line is what is my biggest issue. I just don't want to destroy that. Let's finalize this section. So I think I'm going to come off in a straight-ish road. Well, let me go through this there. Here, which I'm hoping this would then connect to it. Like that. And obviously that is eventually going to create a connection to the highway there. So we're not relying on that connection there. Right, this is good for me to begin with. This is real good for me right now. I can dig this, okay? I can dig this. Things are looking good. Things are looking good. So let's go a little bit crazy with the well, not too crazy, but let's go crazy with the high density, boys. Not too high as well. I don't want skyscrapers coming, out of nowhere. There's no signature buildings I can utilize yet. There is a bookshop. How tall is the bookshop? Oh, the bookshop can be utilized down here. So I reckon then we start with a little bit of that's all low. This is all low density. I don't have any ability yet to build high density. So we'll do northeast low. We have southwest low. I'm not sure which will be the best one, but if I do the north on this side, bit of a commercial, which we actually don't have any commercial, but I'm going to plan the zoning out for commercial anyway. So we do it around the train station, and I'll do it here and here as well. And yeah, that should be pretty good. I'm going to do some normal zoning then back in onto here. I'll do some going down. No, we'll do it here. And I'll do it just there. So that's all the commercial we're going to have in this vicinity. And I'll eventually do little pockets. So we got little stores nearby. That would really help everybody out. So when I say low, high density, I'm not saying skyscrapers, okay? I'm not thinking skyscrapers. I'm just thinking a little bit bigger than what we've currently got. So even like medium density is a good way to go about it as well. We've got the mixed zoning. But let's start with some low rent housing. Right, this is going to be interesting, okay? This is going to be real interesting. So I'll start here and I'll do a 3x3. Can I do a 2x3? I can. I can get away with that. We'll do a 3x3, a 2x3, a 2x3, and a 2x3. And I want to create, like I did in the other area, little roads that come down that unlock spaces. So if I was to come off this here, and I can stick a little car park in there if I wanted to. I can kind of bring this round and connect in. And I'm creating like this like downtown city vibe where you're able to access areas that you was not normally able to access. And it creates quite a walkable space. An interesting space, I should say. Do the same with this then. So I reckon we stagger over by one and then walk down the back end. Walk down the back end as well. So these are like the back alleys. I could do the same coming through the middle here. So if I was to kind of go like that. So you will get like a difference in buildings now being built. Because the way the road currently runs through the area. Which I think will be really good. I do think we could be really, really good. So I want to maximize parking a lot as well. So where could I incorporate? There's some just in there I can incorporate. We'll go with a slightly bigger car. Not too big, because it would look a little bit out of place. But a decent sized car park. I'll put another one just there. And I do want to... I mean, we've got some car parks down by the train station anyway. Let me put some car parks down here and then we'll build some roads going around them. So I reckon we go for you there and then build a road around it. And then we'll do that as well. Right. Interesting. It's like Old Town meets New Town, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. Right, back to the low rent housing then. I want to kind of squeeze a few of these now all in. I think this will kind of make a little bit more sense implementing that right now. Interesting, interesting. We'll get a 3 there. I'll do a 2x4. Is that possible? Yes. Which would probably lead to more roads being created. I can do a 3 there. Because doing it smaller, like how I'm doing it now, means you don't get the huge buildings, but you still get the density of the size of, or the type of building. Alright, there we go. I might go for a larger one there and then squeeze in one there. So there's a few different contrasting styles throwing in. Yes. Now, this is going to bring us a lot of people, okay? This is the only other downside to it. But we're kind of hoping it will grow the commercial demand. We're kind of hoping it will grow the industrial demand. We're just going to keep spending our residential demands. Now, that's all low rent housing. We're going to go back to medium density. And we'll go for some slightly larger medium density buildings. So if I do you there and then maybe go for you, scrap that. Right, we'll come back to that because I'm now realizing that that size is probably not as big as I am able to do it. Right, if I do it like that and then get rid of you. Okay, it's not building what I want it to build. That's fine. So I'm going to cover it all. Right, I'm going to cover it all and see what happens. Because I got to remember, I got to put a lot of trees in to make it feel kind of nice as well. That's southwest. We've got the northeast buildings as well. So I'm trying to go for like something a little bit different. So can I do that style there? Oh, I can. Right, let's do a 3 there. Let's back on the 3s like that. And then I think we run out of demand at that point, don't we? Right, let's fast forward to get this stuff being built. All right, got a few different variations of building now coming in. People are now starting to move in as well. That's what I'm liking. That's what I'm loving to see right now. Got a lot of the high density demand still to spend. But again, doing it in small little sections is the way to go forward. And then we're going to zone it like what we also did over here as well, where we got like the trees in between the gaps of the buildings. I think that makes such a huge difference. I really do think it makes a huge difference. So if I go back to that style of road again, and if I cut down here like that, we're going to kind of test it out in this format here. So, bam, I'm going to bring this going down and then in. Bring you out. Down. And it's nice to do like little sections, like a road kicking in there. A road kicking in here. And you can just kind of have a little bit of fun. Play around with a few different styles and whatnot. So there, we're going to do some of these tall buildings and see what we can kind of really finalize all this stuff on. That's signature buildings. Right, let's go for this style. So let's see. I don't want to cover too much of it because you want to have the gaps. I want to go for the gaps and stuff. There we go. And these areas we can go full shebang. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that. I'll cover it with one of those. You can go for the full shebang. Because you don't mind too much about what's going to happen. I'm going to do that there, and in hopes it throws in a car park. I mean, I throw in a car park. Well, you've said it, what's going on, boy? You think car parks are just going to appear right now? Isn't that one that kind of fits that size? Or is that the best one you're going to get? If that's the best one we're going to get, I'll go with that one. I'll go with that. So you can see the different style of housing coming in here. I don't know whether... Ooh, what style of house was this? Was that the North American one? I don't know if I'm a fan of that now. I should have maybe stuck to the southern one. But I can now start to throw a few trees in. If I anarchy it. There. Any little gaps around here? There's the odd little gap. You can see a few gaps now appearing round. And I'm going to throw these in. And then just see what comes on this. Because I might not like the style of building that's coming in here. So let me just wait for all this to now build. I don't think I'm going to like it. I also... What zoning did I do here? I did medium density. Was medium density the right way to go about it? Do you know what? I think it actually works. Wait for that building there to come in. I think it actually works. I think that works. It's not too ridiculous and too OTT. Well, I think it does work, and then we'll do a little bit of the low rent housing again. So if I went for a 2 there, a 2 there, and a 2 by thingy there, so it gives me room then to throw in some trees. Like that. That looks really realistic though, doesn't it? I kind of do like it. I kind of actually really like that. I'm going to need lots of parking, though. I'm not too sure about this, though, is my issue. I'm not too sure about this. I might just scrap that off in favor of the Southwest style. I should just stick to the Southwest style because that is a favorite of mine now. All right, allow them all to build and come in like that. I'll drop a couple of trees in. La-di-da-di-da. Right, and that's how we're going to kind of do it. That's how it's all going to come together. So I'm surprised that we just don't have any commercial zoning being built up as well. So let's take it to the next stage. Then we've got European, we've got French style, we've got China style housing, which might be a bit too mental. We're going to see if we can get rid of... Not get rid, but getting some more... I feel like I need to do more road before I can do anything else. So imagine you come across, imagine you go across to there. And let's say that connected in like that. That throws up some very interesting concepts here with the low rent housing. For me to throw all that in there. Maybe not... Oh, actually, I could do them both there, which is okay. And if I do it that there and let's say that there, that gives me space to play with. Throw in the odd tree. There we go. And await for the rest. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. In the meantime, we need to spend some of our suburb zoning. So I don't mind about this, to be honest with you. We'll go normal on this and we'll just paint bucket it. Going all the way around. Because we've discovered that we can put like trees in the front gardens, which work out really well. So these sprawling sections where you can't really do much with them, that's where we can implement that type of zoning. We've got loads of commercial zoning over here as well, which we can't really spend or do anything with. So we are going to have to kind of wait. But that works out. So allow that now to kind of slightly build up in the background. We're going to try and make the train stations more interconnected. These ones are fine at the moment. It's just I want to take a look at, for example, this. How can we make it even more connected? We've got a road over there. I could do a crossroads going over. Not crossroads, sorry. A bridge going over for the pedestrians to access all the job area over here. I could make it walkable for these guys to kind of walk down and cross over with a little bit of a bridge. Especially walking down to the church. I don't know how that will play out. Whether they'll like the idea of having to walk across a highway. It's dangerous. Very dangerous. But I could do pedestrian bridge. I mean, it does create... No. No, that's just not going to work. It's just not going to work doing it like that. I don't know whether having them be able to walk all the way down there is a good idea. The pedestrian bridge, if I went up, 10's way too much. But I don't know whether 5 is not enough. So if I built that there... Oh, have I deleted the building here? Yikes. Was there a building there? I'm doubting myself. I'm honestly doubting myself. Right, that's there. Now, this is different because it's on the back end of it. So if I was able to build that first going out. That to there. To there. I'm sure there's a way in which we can create the ability for them to connect to this. But I'm not sure exactly how that works. I know there's a way in which... No, not there. They can connect to the back of the building, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not particularly too sure where that connection lies. Let me just do it like that. And let me like have a little fast forward for a second to see if anybody walks through this. Surely it's got to be handy for somebody. I can't remember how they connect to the station via the path. I honestly can't remember how it worked. Okay, there's someone walking down now, so it does connect. But where is it they walk in? Yeah, they walk directly onto the platform, don't they? And vice versa. So it is handy. It is handy. They can do the connection. There's somebody walking back over again, going across the bridge. So they can walk over here. They can treat it as a walkover as well. They're just going to the station to make access to get over there. They just go under this section. So that is handy, and that does work. The train just dropped off a load of people. Off they there go. And then obviously some of them are going to then take the little bridge going over. Okay, that works. I just couldn't remember exactly where the crossover point was. So I can apply the same logic here in many ways. I can apply the same logic here. So there is a bit of an issue. I don't like the buses having to stop there. I feel like they should come into the station a bit more. So with this, I can add services. I can add ticket machine. Wait, what do ticket machines do? Increases the level. Oh, increases the level of comfort. We don't need them to be more comfortable, do we? Right. Car park would be good. So if I drop the car park here, delete that tree, delete that tree. We put the stops here instead. So if I put there and there, and then if I move this to this one, and I mean, it doesn't really make sense me having to move that to there because they're both got to come in anyway, so they might as well both stop at the same stop. But at least with this, you can kind of see which side's busy than the other. You know what I mean? As opposed to stopping there and causing issues with our traffic. And then I can create a symmetrical road leading out to have 2 lanes join the roundabout as they exit this area. Right, just do that anyway. It's not the best system, this. I'll have to kind of create a better version of it. But then also set up a walkway at the same time now for people to get over so they can access said train station. So, by a 5, right? Is that deemed okay still? That height is more than adequate. And then we're just going to bend this like that. No drama, no drama, no drama. Right, does this stay elevated here? Kind of, yeah. Down to the ground. Bam. So I don't really need to go this way. but I could also make it go the full distance to connect up to there. And it just enables them to walk under the trees, in the shade. It's beautiful. Right, we probably need a bigger car park here, don't we? We probably do need a bigger car park. So if I was to implement a bigger car park, I could do a modest one. I have the canopy covered one. Solar paneled, a small car park. This small car park is probably the better way to go about it. And do I want to now upgrade this to be the normal road? Let's anarchy that. Yeah. Bring this coming down a bit more. And then go for a slightly bigger car park, right? So if I put the car park there and then deleted this one, we can then redo the zoning. So get rid of the zoning there. Build one here. And we'll do a little path that allows them to walk directly all the way up. Nice. So the bus stop still happens there. I don't mind too much about that. It is what it is, that. We got a few trees now down. And that finalizes that area. Nice bigger car park. Better infrastructure. The bridge that they can walk over to access this area a bit easier. That is a bit better for these guys over here, isn't it? It really is a little bit better. I reckon we've got the walkability here. So do I stop them walking? I don't think this is an issue yet, but it will be an issue in the future with traffic if I keep allowing them to walk across here. But I can eventually build something that will kind of stop that. They'll park in this car park instead, which I'm going to charge $12 for the train station. Very good, very good, very good. Very good. This train station doesn't have a car park. We'll implement one in as well. I can go for the same type of car park, or I can go for the smaller one. I'll go for the smaller one and see how busy it becomes, that. And we'll charge $12 there. We'll just initially see how busy it does become. The car park over here, we can charge $12 to park in. And we have hot jams leading in. This is everybody wanting to get into these brand new buildings. This is the downside of having only one connection at the minute. At the minute, guys. It's at the minute, okay? $12. $12. And there's a couple of car parks dotted around. There's one there. $12. I'm sure there's another one, but I don't know where it is. That looks really good, doesn't it? It does look really good, especially with the trees being implemented in there. So if I throw a few more in the gaps that I can now visually see, it looks real good. And then places like over here, right, I'll turn the anarchy off and first increase the brush, increase the strength. Just brush over it to where it would naturally put in trees. It wouldn't be a lot of trees. Let me increase that brush. Alright, you see? That's where it would naturally put the trees. And then I go anarchy, singular tree, fine tune it, and put the odd tree in someone's front garden. Really bulk it up. There we go. It's 10 times better, this is. It is 10 times better. Feels more neighborhoody. Right. Feels more neighborhoody. So we got to let that initial wave of people now move in. It will take some time because we only really have one entry point. But the traffic will die down. It's just the initial people moving in traffic. No commercial demand whatsoever. I wouldn't say that we're earning any more revenue than we was before, but we are creating more unemployment, which is important as we will start implementing more jobs. Now, we do have the tiniest bit of industrial demand, but I don't know whether it's worth me actually building a factory or two first in here just to finalize this vicinity off. Well, there was going to be zoning there, but they don't want to build anything there now, which is weird. Why are they not building here? What is it about this? Should I build a little road coming out here? Just for the aesthetics? Yeah, pretty much. Very good, very good. And would I need to do a bulkier road here leading out? We'll have to anarchy this one. There we go. Just give us a little bit more freedom with pulling the vehicles out. So far, so good. Provided more jobs, more people moving in. But we've got to think about sorting this out as well. I'm not too sure what the best port of call will be here, where it's just going to be like a T-junction. I'm not particularly too sure. Unemployment right now should be pretty abysmal. 34%. So we need to go back to our roots and build some more forest areas right now to provide more jobs. Unless we truly start thinking about this area here. Probably one of the better decisions that we could potentially make at this point. So if I come off the road there, this road's coming up to there. Would this actually kind of connect over to avoid them making that connection? Ooh. That's a shout, isn't it? That is a shout. We want to first build a bunch of factories. So if I allowed you to come up to there, I allowed you to come up to, let's say, there. It's provided me with zoning, which I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Or whether I split the difference so there's not one side being more dominant than the other when it comes to traffic. Everywhere is a little bit even. So if I came up to there and went across here, this would only lead to there. And these are my little industrial areas that I can work with. So this whole section will eventually be industry, but I control what the industry is like. So we've got one there. We can throw in one there. And then not go too over the top with all the zoning. So we'll go for a nice big one there. You can do like smaller ones in little places. Chunky boys. Like that, and then just see how they kind of fill in. So that'll take some time to kind of grow as well. You know, that'll take a little bit of time. Some bigger ones there. Do a couple of different sizes. And that becomes a little bit of an industrial park, which will look pretty nice. Pretty nice. So everyone's still moving in down here. I would save myself a world of pain if I just simply enabled the additional road down there to connect, but I like pain. It eventually all kind of settled down. It's just the initial everyone moving in before they realize how they then navigate this area. It's glorious. Absolutely glorious. It will put a lot of pressure on the city. And until everyone's moved in, it will put a lot of pressure on the city. Now, how's the industry over here? That's now slowly starting to grow. And again, we'll fill that with trees and whatnot and make it look really nice. That'll provide a fair few amount of jobs. Oh, we're turning a profit. No way. We are finally... No, okay, no, we're about to lose the money. We're not officially in profit territory just yet, guys. Officially, we're not there. We are not there. Any commercial demand will get spent instantly, so we're not expecting to see any commercial appear as of late. Battery depleted. So yeah, we're going to have to start thinking about right now alternative ways of sources of power, water, sewage. All of our utilities at the moment are upholding themselves, but they will eventually start disappearing. We need a lot of hospital services and whatnot, as you can now see. So we've got a lot of work we still need to do. Now I'm going to get more low rent housing down real quick. We'll squeeze in what we can. We'll do a nice little chunky boy there. We'll do one just there. We'll go with you. Can I go a little bit bigger with you? Do a 3 there. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll create walkable areas. Can I go a continuous bend on this one? There we go, something a little bit different for the old Ziggy Zaggy. And drop in some beautiful trees, turn the anarchy on for that. There we go. I'm liking this style. Nothing over the top. Drop a couple of trees in the middle for sound cancelling. You know, fresh air. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks pretty good, but there's a lot of work. I don't want to go full swing into it because you can already see the problems that will start occurring. We're going to make sure that they're all taking advantage of parking. That's going to be a big thing as well. There's still a lot of people we've got to move in. They are taking their time and they will eventually get there. All the beautiful factories are now coming in. Would it make sense to drop the odd little cul-de-sac down to kind of benefit from the additional factory being zoned? We can definitely benefit from it. We can definitely benefit from it. To fill those little gaps. I'm just not too sure on the design aspect of a cul-de-sac. But this works out. This works out. So it is causing us a few little issues. Traffic being one of them. But it is everybody moving in. Because we've got so many brand new houses down here. Granted, it's the only turning point. So next episode, we'll create the junction here. We'll also look towards if it's now ideal to create the underpass. Or would the underpass cause us another new issue on this roundabout? I'm not too sure yet. We'll have to kind of see how this roundabout goes and how this goes in general. But I can solve a lot of pain, a lot of torture, a lot of issues just by simply having that additional junction down here. Not a problem, boys, not a problem. And worst case scenario, we can also create more additional connections to this highway anyway. So it's not like this is always going to be a problem. There's always ways to kind of get out of this situation. It just is what it is, boys. It just is what it is at the moment. So how is the train line doing before we go? That is the big thing that we want to find out. 33% usage, which is really good. Maybe we need to think about getting a secondary train on it. Maybe, who knows, who knows. But not too bad. We've provided a lot more jobs. We've provided a lot more citizens. And there's glimpses of us turning a profit. Guys, until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.